quite a small grid for tonight. I don't know what that is, whether it's holiday season or people are scared of Snetterton. I was a little bit. I haven't got my track medal until what time? About 5:30. So yeah, that was pretty close. But yeah, I remember doing it in Project Car, so it's similar experience. So it all came back to me after a while. So set up very similar to Open, quite bumpy. So I thought I'd run the same thing. Some fast bends, similar. So let's go with what happened here. Well, I feel I was on for a time that could have been pole, or at least in the top 2 or 3. But I just kept screwing the corners, you know, that's what they all say. But I was on for a 157 mid at one point, but blew it on the last corner. Anyway, here we go. Let's see what transpires here. So I'm way back down the field, never a good place to be in the GT4. So let's let it rock. That'll be, move that on, won't I? That's it. Let's go back a little bit. Let's see what happened here. I had a few little comings togethers with Michael. I don't know if he didn't see me at the side of him. Just seemed to move back onto the line, and I was there, so that was not ideal. But there you go. I don't know what view he's using. It's perhaps much easier in VR than on a flat screen. So let's take a bit of an aerial view of this. Let's see what happened. That's me there in the gold car. Let's get rid of that hood. There we are. Okay. So I was right behind Michael, but I thought, oh, I'll just hold back a little bit and see what transpires. And there you see, I was glaning there, but I think he was perhaps being a bit sensible, trying to keep out of the way, and I tried to keep out of the way. Silly mistake to go wide, I suppose, because you know people are going to come across at you. You can see what's happening there. Yeah, so I tried. Yeah, I'm being very secure. Then that guy comes across on us. I don't know what happened there. So I'm effectively last but one going into the first bend. Perhaps last but 2 if you count the guy that's gone off. Okay, so I'm trying to pick my way through quite steadily. This is where I think I started to have a few little dings with Michael. See, I'm staying out, I'm staying back, I'm not trying to go up his inside at that point. But then at the point where I think he loses drive, and I got a much better line into the corner. Possibly of this next one actually. So there you go. He's gone up the inside there. I had to go across the corner, and I got a good run through there. And then it appeared that he just came back across me. He didn't see me there at all, and I'm there, and he doesn't see me. So that again compromises me, puts me back there. So at this stage I'm not that happy. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go a bit of in-car. Let's catch up with Michael again. It doesn't take long to catch these guys up. So there we go, we're back in a bit of a battle with him. So let's see, I think the next pass was okay, from what I remember. Let's have a see. Don't like that view. It's not very realistic. It's like a drone's view. So again, I'm trying to eye him up. Let's see what I did. I can't remember. What did I do? I'm just feinting a little bit just to make sure he knows I'm there. Then I cocked up. Avoided the brake markers there for you guys. I struggled, but I did try. It was intentional to try and avoid it. Could have just gone straight through it. There we go. So I got a better drive out of there. And again, I think I'm just ducking and diving around, just looking to. Well, one, I can see where my line is better than being up the back end of another car. That's one of the reasons I do that. Also. Again, it just puts a bit of pressure on the guy in front. He sees a car moving around his mirrors, he's wondering what's going on, just to unsettle a little bit. It's all part of the game. let's see how this plays out. I think we have, I think again Michael there just a bit optimistic, so I saw it all coming and went wide to avoid it. So you can see I'm losing seconds trying to avoid this stuff. That's just what happens though. It's my mistake on the qualifying. So here we go, I've got to run on this guy, and I know I'm quick through this corner, so I'm thinking he's not going to brake that late as me. Yeah, that's it. So I drift it round there really, and that actually comes a bit of a cropper later with Mr. Panoff, with Mersh Panoff, because I was a bit optimistic, and I've apologised to him in the chat. I don't think it damaged him too much. It didn't damage me. Anyway, so again here with Mr. Coulomb, I'm a bit wary here because I was very close to him last week. Didn't think I touched him, but I think I underestimated the length of the bonnet, or something was slightly out of skew. So I was a bit more wary this time when I was getting close to the back end of the cars. I've learnt that lesson. He's gone wide there, and I think it took me a little while to get by him, from what I remember. So let's see. Let's dive down here. This corner in the Porsche, gearing is just not right. I don't want to drop it to first, but then it just doesn't pick up. It takes ages to pick up. But if you go to first, the risk is spinning it out, and I think it's better to just sacrifice that bit of drive than to risk the spin. So let's see how this one comes off. Nice little battle. He was just looking for somewhere. There we go. He made the mistake. So again, that's what it's all about, really. You just keep it tidy yourself and hope that these guys just make mistakes and you go forward. But sometimes when they're equal, similar sort of speed, you've got to be a bit more attacking. Perhaps not as attacking as I did on Merce in a bit. So let's see how this turned out. Let's see who we've got in front of us. Okay, we've got Mr. Mileski in front of us. Let's go back. So I'm up into 12th now from what, for the 17th. So it's going forward. The trouble is I'm making a habit of this. It was because of the grid problems at Alton. I was probably 26th and I had to scrape back through the field to try at some reasonable points. So again here I'm pressuring him. I think he actually let me go there. I think he was not up for the battle, which is fair enough. You know, there was points in that race where I was thinking, shall I push Jonathan? Well, we'll see that later. Do I push him, or do I just settle for the 6th? It's not a bad result after starting down in 12th and being effectively 17th. But no, I thought, nah, let's go for it. Who have we got here? We've got Mr. Britos, Van. So again, a bit of harrying. Let them know I'm there. Just poke it there. Make sure. Well, okay. He actually either let me through or ran wide there. Again, make sure you can make the corner. If you're going to go in tight, make sure you're not going to understeer out into them, which I did later. You'll see that into Merce. So let's fast forward a little bit. What's the gap here? We've got. Yeah, it's actually not far. 0.549. So somewhere, if we look down the road, we must have Mr. Peterson. Let's fast forward this a bit. A bit of the old Snetterton. Snetterton. There is a place just up the road called Snetterton. Well, I say up the road, it's in Norfolk, but it's not really up the road. It's probably an hour away. Let's have a see. Snetterton. It's a good old track we used to go with, and now watch the British touring car in the late 80s, early 90s. You got the Sierra Cosworths, there was a guy, a TV celebrity in the UK called Mike Smith. He used to race. He was a DJ. Sadly, he passed away now, but he was racing at that time. Did the DJing in the week and did the racing on the weekend. It's very bitter cold though. The wind whips across this track when you're there. You're standing up on the stands. Oh, horrible. So let's whiz forward a little bit on this. And I've got a bit more story here. My brother used to race classic saloon cars, and we turned up here and it just threw it down all day. It was horrible weather, and I think they delayed the race. I think they cancelled his race, so we'd come 120 miles, say, to race. We did the qualifying, but then there was that much rain, it just got cancelled. I think there was a crash in one or two of the races. He was last on the card, so they cancelled the race, which was pretty poor. I think they got a refund, but that was that. So what else happened at Snetterton? Okay, they've got a market, a fair, so it's like a bring and buy type sale, and it's quite often shown on. There goes Mr. Peterson. He made it easy for me because he spun off there on his own. So there's something on the UK called Bargain Hunt on the TV, and it's all based around auctions. And these people, they go around these auctions, these fairs, pick up old rubbish, tat, and then try and make a profit on it at the auction. And Snetterton is one of the locations where they quite often go to pick up the rubbish. So it's a bit like the old Lovejoy stuff. That was based in Norfolk. So you don't know what I'm talking about if you're not English or British, but yeah, show my age there a little bit. Actually, most of you probably will know it, won't you, based on ages. Okay, so we've got Merce in front of us now, Mr. Panoff. So let's flip to aerial view again on this and see how it develops, this battle. Well, it developed quite nicely to a point where I swiped him off the track and took myself off. He got away with it. He got a distance ahead of me while I was spinning in the grass, so although it was my fault, I didn't feel too bad about it. So let's see how this plays out. I can't recall how long it was before I caught up with him. I think I tried to go very early actually. I was quite close to him. To be honest, it was too eager again. I've said this before. It's too eager. Let's go back to it was down into the bends at the end here, which I can't recall what they're called. Was it? Did I go on the first attempt? You see, I'm trying to get to the front as soon as possible. So here we go. Yeah, that was just stupid. I knew I wasn't going to make it. I had to go up the curb, and I just bounced over the sausage and hit him. To be honest, I came off much worse there. So yeah, there's not a lot I can say really. I misjudged my braking, and the gap closed, and there you go. That's what happened. So let's have a bit of speed here. Didn't mean that. You can stick with me. My race. We can use the highlights and the stream to see everybody's race. This is my little race. Okay, so I'm up to Mr. Peterson again, and again he's struggling a little bit, I think. I'm light on him, but I think he actually makes another mistake. Or he goes wide here. Something happens. Perhaps not this lap. Let's whiz it forward again. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Let's have a see if it was at the hairpin. No. Again, listen to that gear. See how it's picking up? That's terrible. But if I drop it down a gear, well, I've spun out in practice a few times in qualifying. That's why I didn't think it was a wise idea to do it. I I've tried it a couple of times in the race, and I think it is a bit faster, but I just don't like the risk. So let's speed this on. Perhaps I think if you go wide up here, I think it was in this area. I think you lost it. You went wide and then spun out across the track. Again, there we go. Yeah, that was it. And I went up that side. Made sure he wasn't going to come back across me, and then went for it. Okay, so let's whiz on a little bit here until the next position. What are we on actually? Let's have a look. I'm up to 10th at the moment. Oh, actually 9th, because right, I've got Mr. Panoff in front again. Let's speed that up till we're on his tail. I think actually it's the other two lose it before I even get on Mr. Merce. Let's whiz that up again. I think it all fell apart for the guys in front fairly soon. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, they've gone wide, and I think I capitalised on that. I was surprised to see Jonathan Wood in the middle of that pack. He must have had an issue because he started third, I think. Again, here we have to be a bit careful with that guy coming across, Mr. Dearlove, I think. And I went there, and then I thought, oh, I don't think he saw me, and then he did see me, and he pulled out. And then I just kept it nice and slow and tight there, and you can see him. He's actually on my. I can see him on the right, my left. Usually saying it's my left in the car, and it was quite. And I thought again, I'll get him here on this corner because I just let it. I don't really brake there much. Just let it roll through. Oh dear! that purple car there. Who would that have been? Was it Mr. Simpson? It wasn't Pocock, it wasn't Mark, so it must be Mr. Simpson. Okay, so what's happening here? So right, I'm back on Merce after I took him out. Well, hit him once. I took myself out. Let's let that one close up a little bit. Yeah, I don't remember why I got by Merce. I think he lost it actually. Again, similar to Webb. Oh, I lost it. Yeah, so blimey. You saw what I did there. I overcooked it, and I've got Andreas on my tail again. So let's whiz this forward again. So I kept getting close, and then I kept losing it. Ah, gosh, the amount of time I've lost for mistakes. How far I could have been up in this race, but then ifs, buts, maybes. Let's whiz that forward a bit. Oh, that makes you feel ill, doesn't it? Come on. Don't know what the YouTube compression rate algorithm will do with this one. I've gone off again. Look at me. I'm just pushing that hard to try and do it. I'm trying to do fast laps. I was doing times that would have got me in the top 2, I think, in the race. When I could get it clean, but as you can see, I was struggling to do that. Let's whiz back. Come on. Whiz. I think he lost it. He was getting a bit ragged there. You can see the dust flying up. Did he lose it then? He keeps going wide. And then, I think perhaps one of the later laps, I was right on his tail. And I think he lost it in the same place as Andreas. Let's speed that up again. Come on. Yeah, I'm close on him now. So the pressure's building. His back end's waggling about. Is it here? Oh, he caught the barrier, that's what put him out there. And then, whoa, he spins. Well, it didn't quite spin. So I had to brake, keep out of the way, got that inside. So then it was battling, chasing down Jonathan, really. Just chewing away a little bit of him each lap. seeing where he was quick. I thought I was quicker through here, but I suppose it's in the mind. Once I was ahead of him, I think he was faster through there than me, because you don't want to lose it. When you're behind, you don't mind pushing so much. Well, that's how mine works. But once I'm ahead, then you've got everything to lose, and you're a bit more defensive. So I think that's how it works. Unless you're an alien, true alien. That's where the F1 drivers that make their money, the guys that can stay out front and not be pressured from behind, and drive just as freely. Again, it's all in the mind. Why should you be any different just because the car's behind you? Should you drive any differently? It's crazy, isn't it? I suppose that's sports psychology. That's where all that comes in. So let's whiz this forward. Jonathan's struggling on a few corners. I keep him quite close. I don't recall what lap I did get by, but I thought, was Jonathan going to catch Terry in front, Terry Trowbridge, and then they'll slow themselves down. I can benefit from that, but no, it didn't happen. I do remember where I got by now. It was at the hairpin, first hairpin. I braked early, hoping that Jonathan would brake late, and he did. He overshot it. I went up the inside, and by the time he cut back, well, I was there. I was in the spot. And I think there was a slight nudge, front wing onto rear wing. But I felt it was a fair move. It'll probably be the next lap then. Let's just whiz it on to a similar position on the next lap, which is going to be about here. There you go, he's gone right, he's in the marbles. No, perhaps there wasn't a touch then. Let's just go back and have a look at that a little bit. 10 seconds. Okay, let's have a look at an aerial view, see what it actually looked like. I know he's gone out there and he's struggling to get the front end in, and then oh, I see what happened. Okay, I couldn't get any tighter than that. So, well, I don't know. I'm going to call that racing incident. I couldn't turn much tighter than that. He'd gone out wide, wanted to get the drive. Whether that was intentional, he was doing that on purpose, or it was a mistake, I don't know. But then I started getting ragged, as you can see here. Again, I just thought, I've just got to get my head together here. I know I can drive this track. Again, just going wide, just totally wrong lines. And he's right on my tail again, and I think he got a bit more speed on the straight, or it was just because he was in my drag. My slip, who knows. Okay, let's whiz this forward. We don't need to see this. Let's see whether there is any close points. Again, you see my line through there. It's a bit edgy, the car is through there. If we see that, lots of corrections going on this next bend. I'm driving it on the brake and the accelerator, the back end wanting to turn, which gives me that ability to hook that inside curb there and then get a better line in for this chicane. But again, he's catching me, but just don't get distracted and go for it. Tyres were struggling towards the end. I was understeering. It was mainly understeer. The fronts had gone cold. So let's whiz on a little bit from there. See if there's any close points. The last lap, I thought I was going to catch Terry actually. But I think what was happening, he was struggling with back markers on that last lap. I think Willie and I can't think who else it was. Definitely Willie on the last lap. It was actually the last bend for me. I caught Willie up to lap him just for the once, and I thought I didn't know where Jonathan was. That was the problem. I didn't want to ease off too much, and thought, you know, let's follow Willie to the line. And I think Willie wanted to. He'd probably seen the blues. He wanted to let me by, so I obliged in the end and could go up his inside. But again, I was a bit wary there. In the last lap of the race, on the last bend. There you go. Definitely got a bit more pace than me, I think. Again, it's just about making sure you get around these corners, keeping your line, not making a mistake, and there's not a lot the guy behind can do unless they're considerably faster than you, and he's in the same car, so it's not likely to be the case, is it? Let's move it on to similar position. Okay, pressured me. I was feeling it. I was definitely feeling it. Saw him in the mirror quite a lot. There you go. I'm making little mistakes again. Gives him a chance to catch up. So we can see this braking. I'm drifting. I'm braking. I'm accelerating. Yeah, there's a lot of slip going on there. Thinking just get a good drive out of here, but I know he's fast, and yeah, luckily he went wide there, and I saw the gap not as close as it had been on a previous lap, so I thought I was safe for the rest of the race. And in front of that, I think you'll see Terry he's coming closer to me. Let's go in car. Jonathan thought that must be his last chance, and now he overcooked it a little bit. And I thought that's the point. That's it now. I'm not going backwards. Let's see if we can do anything about going forwards. So let's see what we've got here. Terry's coming closer to me, and you can see there's Chris up ahead, and I think he's lapping Willie. Then Terry's got to do the same. Chris, I think, I don't know where Jonathan's gone. Yeah, he dropped back quite a bit on that first lap. Perhaps he thought that was it. I'll just take the position. See, unless he's got a problem with the car. So again, I'm pulling away from Jonathan. Am I getting closer to Terry? I think I was. It felt like I was. I think it was just probably because he was being careful with Willie. And I'm thinking, I've got a bend here to do. And what do? Do I push it? I think, oh, that was lucky. I think Jonathan could have been on my tail. I didn't realise he'd lost it there. So this is the last bend of the corner, of the lap of the race coming up here. And I've got Willie just there. And what happens? Do I follow him through, thinking Jonathan's still on my tail? Which he wasn't, but I didn't know that. I could have made a mistake there, and I thought, no, he did let me go. That was very generous of him. Don't know how many blues he'd had, but there you go. So there's Chris, he got third, good result. Terry fourth, me doing a bit of tyre warming. And that is the race. Let's have a quick look at results. So I started down here and I crawled it back to fifth. Derek at the top, Eric and Chris, Terry, myself, Neil, Jonathan, Mercer Parnoff, Triss Simpson. I think Triss is the name. Mr. Dearlove, not sure on the first name, sorry. Mr. Dearlove. Mark, Mr. Molesky, Dan Britos, Stephen Buckley, Richard Coulon, is that Eric Langlois? Andreas Peterson, Willie Owens, Michael Benchair, and Jeremy, who I think didn't race, he was spectating and sitting in the pits. So that's it. That's my race. See you again, perhaps for the Porsche Cup tomorrow, or this time next week. Right. Thank you. Goodbye.